I grew up broke. 3 siblings, single mom, barely able to afford anything. Fast forward a few years into my early 20s, and I made $144,000 in profit in just 24 hours. The cars, the houses, the fame, Lamborghinis, Porsche, McLaren. For a moment there, it felt like I was completely untouchable. It felt like playing GTA in real life almost. But here's the truth. Success is fragile. Think of it like a tower made of glass. Every viral video, every flashy car, everything stacked the tower higher and higher. And the higher I went, the closer I got to completely collapsing. But before I explain everything, you need to understand the backstory. My name is Sebastian Georgiou, and yes, I used to be that business guy on YouTube once. I grew up broke, like really broke. So when I discovered that I could make money from the internet when I was 17 with dropshipping, I decided to go all in. And when I realized people would watch me talk about it and listen to me share what I've learned through my journey, everything changed really, really fast. For 8 years, I ended up playing musical chairs. It started with dropshipping, which led into YouTube, which led into affiliate marketing, which led into my own marketing agency at one point. Then I got into investing. I even built a house. I even went back to dropshipping. I did more affiliate stuff. And at one point, I even tried day trading, but we don't really talk about that. I jumped from business to business, and each time I jumped from one to another, I did end up making more money, but I wasn't exactly building businesses. I was monetizing attention in different ways, for the most part. Different ways to extract money from the same asset, which was my face, me talking on a screen. I ended up becoming a jack of all trades in a way, good at a lot of different things, but truly a master at none of them. And when I realized that, this question began to haunt me very deeply. Am I even capable of building something real? Am I capable of building something that doesn't collapse the second I step away from it if I ever wanted to? You know, people on the internet saw me as like this business guy, and no doubt, like I've had success with many different businesses and a lot of success, but was I able to build something real without my face? So at the height of all of it, I stopped. I didn't want to post anymore. I didn't want to post any reels. I didn't want to post any more YouTube videos. I wanted to stop everything because this question was haunting me and I couldn't bear to post any more content on the internet. But here's the problem. I was basically starting at square one with this whole notion. I had no idea where to start. I had no idea what to do. I knew that I could go back into any of the other businesses that I've done in the past and I can just go all in on them and take them to the highest level possible, but I didn't know where to start. So I just did nothing at all. I sat, I waited, I spent time with friends, I found a girl, I traveled, I watched movies, and I spent some of the money that I have saved up and accumulated over the last 8 years. And as I started to drift into the fog, my business went along with it as well. But as I was enjoying my life, I was secretly playing with a little idea. I was slowly building a software app. At the time, I was building it because it was supposed to be a tool for the affiliate marketing. It was a Shopify app and it was really on the side. It was something I wasn't really taking seriously at all. It was originally intended to be an AI store builder, a convenient tool to help dropshippers build their entire store and product pages with just one click. But honestly, at the time it was pretty terrible. The copy was really, really bad. The theme was bad. The layouts were bad. It was all very MVP and very like side project. But as each day passed, I started to see the potential in this side project a little bit more. It became more and more exciting as I worked on it. And I realized that not only can this end up being the real business that I was so desperately after, but this could actually also change people's lives and change the e-com space in general. So even though it was far, and I mean far from perfect, we decided to say screw it and we launched the app on the Shopify App Store anyway, just to see what would happen. This was the first step in making my dream of building a real business come true. But at the time that I launched it, I had no idea that's what was going on. And within 24 hours of launching it on the App Store, it was kind of a success, but not really in the way that you might think. Day one, I think 4 or 5 people bought it at $14 each. At the time, I literally thought, no way. I was literally blown away because I was like, these are really not that good. Like, who would pay $14 to buy this? But regardless, people bought it. Day 2, more people bought. Day 3, more people bought. I mean, I was confused, to be honest, because I knew the product wasn't that good. That version that we had at the time, sure, it would save people some time and it would make things a little bit easier, but it was by no means something amazing. Like the product was very beta mode. But I realized at the time that people actually want this. The market actually desires this product. And so I thought, Well, if we improve it and make it better, then surely more people are going to want it and they'll pay more for it too. And so what do? Well, I decided to take action. We brought on new people. We brought on someone technical to hire more developers and make sure we didn't get screwed over, because we did get screwed over for about 6 months. That's a story for another video. But we added new features, we tried new things, and we thought we were doing well, but we still struggled to get them to build what we really wanted. The AI store builder needed to be better. It needed to be intelligent. The product did get better, but the business was still break even. And honestly, it still kind of sucked. So I put my head down again and I got back to work, and this time for real. As it was getting better and better, we started to charge more for it. We increased the price from $14 to $29 eventually, and boom, people bought it right away. Not long after, someone on the team suggested that we begin to charge monthly for it and turn it into a monthly recurring business or a monthly subscription charge. I immediately said that's completely stupid. And it was completely stupid, but we did it anyway. And guess what? People still bought it. People still bought the subscription. It made no sense to me. Building a store with AI is a one-time thing. Why would somebody pay monthly for it, right? Like, it's just common sense. Then we decided to launch an annual plan. Hey, we'll give them a discount if they spend $500, $600, $700 up front. So we launched an annual plan. I didn't think it would work. People bought it pretty much right away. And in my mind, seeing that, having like $1,000 to $2,000 in monthly recurring revenue, I was like, I have a SaaS company now, I guess. Like, I don't know how I got here. But of course, what are we going to do? So in my mind, I was like, let's keep going down this path that we have found ourselves on. Slowly but surely, we grinded our way up to 10K a month in recurring revenue. And then we got to 15K a month. And things were going great, honestly. I've always dreamed of having a SaaS company, and I didn't know how I was going to get into one, and I didn't have any ideas for starting a SaaS company, but in such an ironic way, I accidentally opened up the door to myself to start a SaaS company. It was completely unintentional, and I was witnessing my dreams come true in real time. My dream of building a SaaS from way back then, but also my dream of building a real business. And my dreams are becoming so true that as a team, we challenged ourselves to reach $20,000 in monthly recurring revenue by the end of the month. Otherwise, we were all going to run a half marathon. This is what happens when you fail your goals. I was sore for 3 days. I felt muscles that I had never felt in my body before. But eventually we got to 20K MRR as well. As I thought everything was going just fine and dandy, more problems began to arise. My co-founder and I could no longer work together. We were reaching our breaking point. We had different styles of work, we were getting in each other's way, and it was damaging our relationship. So one of us had to go, and it was either me or him. And I had to make a very, very, very hard choice at that moment. I could either spend a ton of money to buy out my co-founder, or I could walk away from this thing and just let my business or my dream that I was starting to witness come true fall apart into nothing. Keep in mind that this business had zero guarantees, zero promises. This was a new business, a new industry that I'm getting into for the first time here, a business with many problems, a business that I'm building without my face. And that's something I've never done before either. It was just obviously extremely risky. I had already invested 50K and months of time and energy and effort. And now, in order to get my co-founder out, I would have to spend over 6 figures in straight cash just to get him out and buy up his equity. So what do? Do I walk away and let this thing die? Or do I place a $250,000 bet on myself? After thinking about it for a long time and being very stressed out, I decided to push all my chips in. I just went all in. And now, for the first time, truly, I had my back against the wall. The boats were burned. It was either swim or drown. Everything was riding on this. If this failed, I would have lit a massive amount of money on fire. I would have wasted a ton of time and energy. And on top of that, I would have proved to myself that I'm not cut out to do this, and I don't have what it takes. And I remember the day that I made this bet on myself and the day that I wired out the money, I wrote it in my notes app on my iPhone. It was the day before my birthday, and I still have that note. On January 6th, I bet everything on myself in all caps. And with that out of the way, the path was clear, and we locked in hard. I had never worked that hard. From the moment that I woke up all the way to nighttime, late, deep into the night, I was on my computer. My eyes were sore. My brain was drained. It literally felt like I was driving myself insane. In January, we hit 35K in monthly recurring revenue, and we were growing slowly, but consistently. Things were slowly going in the right trajectory, but one day it stopped. Not only did we stop growing, we actually started dying. For the rest of the month of January, we were on a slow decline. We went from higher 30K MRR back down to like almost 30K MRR, losing about 25% of our monthly income. And that was it. I knew it. At that moment, I knew I'm not it. I can't do it. This isn't for me. I wasted my money. I wasted my time. I had so much hope, so much belief, but that fear deep down inside of me that I couldn't do this became true. And I knew it was true. And that was a very tough moment, very stressful and very hard, but there's nothing we could do. So we just kept on grinding. Slowly, we got through January. I was still dreading everything, but I realized that if I wanted this to truly work, I had to build something good, something so good that I would use it myself. So we knew that we had to do that, and that's exactly what we set out to do. We asked ourselves, what do dropshippers care about most? What are they using most right now? So we knew we had to build a really, really competent, professional, high quality theme. We needed high converting product pages with a ton of theme elements and theme sections that looked amazing, that would convert users. And then we needed bundles and upsells. And we needed all of this to be done super quick and super well. Quickly so that it's convenient enough for people to pay for it on a monthly basis, and well enough that it would actually work and people would actually make sales on their stores with our products. And so that's exactly what we did. We knew what we had to build. We set sail and we locked in and we built it as best as we could. We launched Atlas 2.0, a new, better, much improved version of our theme and store. And that's when things really started to get out of hand. There was another thing that we also weren't taking a full advantage of at the time too. And once we did this for the first time, we knew we were doing something right. We started to track our users' revenue. People that had our app installed on their Shopify store, people that were using our themes, our bundlers, our cart upsells, we started to see their data and see how much money they were making with their stores, their AI stores. And looking back at it, this was game changing, and I can't believe we hadn't done this sooner. But once we started tracking it and we saw the numbers, it honestly blew us away. Within a week of tracking it, we hit over $1 million in GMV, meaning that users using our app and our products have made $1 million with our app. And at the time, it was going up by 60 to 70K per day. And as I'm filming this now, we have over $61 million in GMV so far, and we are well on our way to getting to $100 million, which we will most certainly do throughout Q4. In fact, I bet you we're gonna blow past $100 million. The MRR was growing faster than ever. People were loving it. People were sharing it with their friends. People were sharing it within their circles. More advanced dropshippers were sharing it with their audiences, with their Discord communities, with their free courses. People started making videos on it. People just started tweeting about it. People just started talking about it. And it was insane. We started to add thousands of dollars in MRR per day. Our app was growing so unimaginably fast, I couldn't even comprehend it. And at this time, my wedding was coming up. I was getting ready to get married, getting ready to leave America and go be in Europe for a long time. And I was getting busier and busier and busier somehow. I was getting more and more things to do. The fire of success and growth started to spread, and it spread fast. By April, my wedding was right around the corner, and right before I was about to leave to go to Europe, only God connected me to a very, very special person. This man's name was Ben Jibawani, and he sold his company, which was called Privy, for over $100 million in one of the biggest Shopify acquisitions ever. Everyone knew what Privy was. Privy was one of the most popular apps on the Shopify App Store back in the day. Even I used Privy for some period of time when I got into dropshipping way back then. I ended up setting up a meeting with him, and I was so nervous. I watched videos on him. I did research on him. I learned about who he was. I watched his podcast. I had questions lined up, and I prepped super hard for this meeting because for the first time ever, I was meeting someone that had done something that I'm like dream of doing. This is a dream scenario for me. So we ended up talking, and I told him about Atlas, my business, and I told him about our story and what we're doing, and he loved it. He loved me. He loved my energy. He believed in me. He didn't even know who I was. He didn't know about my YouTube channel. He didn't know anything about me, but he just saw what I was building, and he saw it and he wanted to be part of it. He looked me dead in the eyes on that call and he said, "This is insane. And I believe in you guys. You guys are a rocket ship." For the first time in my life, someone didn't believe in my cars. They didn't believe in my clout. They didn't believe in my followers. They didn't believe in my YouTube channel. They actually believed in me. as a business person, as a CEO, as somebody that was doing a good job growing a business. And I had never felt that before. This shattered a wall of limiting beliefs that I had about myself. And for the first time ever, I had a lot of confidence and I actually felt like I could actually do this. And that was the greatest feeling ever. Ben gets pitched by a lot of companies. He was offered a lot of really good positions at really good companies. And he picked us as one of the companies that he advises for. He wanted to be part of our team. Today, Ben sits on our board. I regularly talk to him about Atlas and about what we're doing and how we're moving forward. Life was going great, and my wedding was now over, and it was time for the honeymoon. This is when I expected things to actually slow down in the business due to me being away from the business and me working less and being there less with my team. So I expected things to kind of die down and level off a little bit. I ended up spending 3 months in Europe, traveling to new countries, traveling to new cities with my brand new wife. We went to Italy, we went to Monaco for the Formula One race. We went to Barcelona, we went to Paris, we went to Switzerland for 2 weeks, and all these different areas. We stayed in tiny towns that you could only access by train. We went to Lauterbrunnen. We ended up going to Austria, to Vienna, to Romania, and then we ended up even going to London, New York on the way back home. Every city I went to, we would try new foods. We would go explore things. We would get on a Lime scooter and go sit by the beach or go visit a new town or go to a fancy restaurant. I was thriving. I was eating croissants, drinking my espresso. I was having the perfect Euro summer. I was still working on the business on the side and I was still grinding at night. You know, in the daytime we'd go out and explore. When we'd come home, I would grind, and some days I would just grind all day. But I was definitely enjoying myself a lot. And naturally, like I said, I thought things were going to slow down, but throughout my Euro summer, we went from 100K MRR to over $250,000 in monthly recurring revenue. That was all during my honeymoon. That was shocking. I mean, I hadn't mentioned Atlas anywhere. I hadn't talked about Atlas. I had built a team. The team knew what to do, and I got married. I started traveling, spending a ton of money, living a dream life, dream vacation, Euro maxing, and I was doing anything I wanted. And my business went from $100,000 a month in recurring revenue to $250,000 a month plus in just a couple of months. Things were going insanely well. I like the amount of euphoria, the amount of dopamine, the endorphins were constantly flooding my veins. And I have to give a massive amount of credit to my team because they carried a lot of my weight during that time. And it's not even a question. If it wasn't for them, none of this would have been possible. But I have to give a huge shout out to them. And the Atlas team is an amazing, hardworking, intelligent, driven team. I owe them a lot. I had a great honeymoon. It was the most beautiful time of my life, but it was time to head home and get back into the trenches and lock in again to focus and work on getting the business to the next leg up before things actually did start to slow down. When I got home, I got an important call. I had a meeting with the CEO of Mantle, and he told me that we might have broken the record for the fastest Shopify app that he's ever seen to reach 1 million ARR. It's April 7th. All right, boom, 2025. Oh yeah, baby. This is including trial value, which is that yellow. So like in the next 3 days. So our MRR is like 73,000. Our trial value is like 10 grand. In this moment, I, once again, just felt pure joy, but I also felt relieved. I felt confident, more confident than ever before. I did what I've always dreamt of doing in a way. And it's not the biggest business in the world. We're not making like a crazy impressive amount of money. It's not anything stupid, but this is what I've always wanted to do. And I did it, and I did it really well, and I did it fast. And this was a huge breakthrough for me. Like, I proved to myself that I can do something that I've always thought about doing. For the first time, I wasn't competing for attention anymore. I wasn't forcing myself to make videos. I wasn't having to say controversial or crazy things to get views and monetize the views and attention. I was competing on a product. I was competing on a business. I was in a new competitive environment where what mattered was the product that we're building. What mattered was the engineers that we had on our team and the quality of the product, the functions of the product, if it was something that people actually wanted, how to package the product, how to market the product, how to position the business. So that was it. We hit 250K a while ago, and growth has been consistent since then. And we continue to grow, and we've grown a lot since then as well. Yeah, everyone now knows what to do. We've worked our way up to, I think, 15 people on the team. All we care about is making the product better, making it more useful, and about genuinely having the best product on the market and making an amazing Shopify app. That's all that we think about and care about. Am I doing a great job? Yes, I think so. Am I at the top yet? Absolutely not. I have so much to learn. I have absolutely an incredibly long journey ahead of me of becoming a better CEO, a better leader, learning how to build better products, become more efficient. There's so many things I still have to learn. Do we have massive problems now? Absolutely. The business that we run still has tons of problems. We have bugs, we have issues, we have feature requests we haven't gotten to. We have things we need to build and people we need to make happy. So it's not all sunshine and roses, that's for sure. But this time it's different. I'm no longer the product. The product is the product. And the product that we built, people love. They love it, they share it, they talk about it. And one of the most important parts about all of that is that they love it even though they don't know that I'm the one that built it. They love it because it is what it is. And there's been times in New York where I run into people and they are like, who are you? And I'm like, Sebastian. And this is at like an e-com event. And I go and they're like, what do you do? And I'm like, I own Atlas. And these people are like, oh, I use Atlas. I use the tools. I love it. And I was like, yeah, well, I built it. I also have a YouTube channel. This time, to me, it wasn't luck. It was real. And this isn't the end of the story. This is chapter 1. Whatever happens now, well, this round was mine and I don't plan on quitting. I love this business. I love software. I'm having a great time. And I think that me being a little bit more public about it now is only going to add fuel to this fire that we've already built. Today, Atlas has over 10,000 paying customers that pay us on a monthly basis. We are helping people rapidly build stores, build product pages, and optimize those stores and product pages with upsell offers extremely fast with the help of AI for the first time ever. We are becoming a dropshipping AI co-pilot, a platform that will support people from $0 in revenue and just getting started all the way up to 300K per month in sales and more. So yeah, $1 million SaaS, although it's worth a lot more than $1 million. We did it through all the ups and downs. And that's the story of how I overcame my own doubts and limiting beliefs. Hope you enjoyed.